Greetings from the Hellerman Casa folks. This is our Holy Saturday devotional during Passion Week, and I must say that I feel rather slighted when my brothers put this reading plan together. They gave me Holy Saturday, and maybe that says something about me. They didn't want to give me too many verses to work with because there is virtually nothing in the Bible about Holy Saturday. This is the Saturday Jesus was in the tomb, and there's all kinds of stuff about his crucifixion and burial, and of course all kinds of stuff about his resurrection tomorrow. But you know what's in the Bible about this whole day, this Saturday between the burial and the resurrection? One half of a verse. It's in Luke 23:56. Matthew, Mark, John say nothing about Holy Saturday. Luke simply says, on the Sabbath, they rested according to the commandment. And so here is this basically a whole day that's left out of the account, and you have to wonder what's going on in the disciples' minds. You know, we maybe get a little window into it when Jesus meets the disciples on the road to Emmaus, and they don't know it's him, and they're dialoguing back and forth with him. This is after the resurrection, but they're reflecting on their feelings post-crucifixion before they found out Jesus rose from the dead. And they're grieving. You know, we thought this was the one who was going to, restore Israel, and on, and their hopes had been dashed. So here we are, between the cross and the empty tomb. There was a fellow named Tony Campolo who preached a sermon that he kind of pirated from an African-American preacher some years ago. The title of the sermon was, "It's Friday, but Sunday's Coming." And this is apropos for Holy Saturday as well. It's Saturday, but Sunday's coming. And this preacher's point, he started back in the first century. It's Friday. And it looks like the powers of darkness have won the day. Jesus, God's Son, has been hung on a Roman cross, crucified. He'd been beaten, flogged, rejected, crucified, thrown in a tomb forever. It's Friday, this preacher said, but Sunday's coming. Sunday's coming. And then this fellow moved from the first century to what was then the 20th century, but we could move it to the 21st century. It's Friday. And this virus has got the whole world in lockdown, basically. It's Friday. And many of us don't know where our next paycheck's going to come from. Some of us have lost loved ones. It's Friday, and a very dark Friday indeed. But Sunday's coming. Sunday's coming. And the beautiful thing about our position with 2020 hindsight post-Easter compared to with the disciples' position on this first Sabbath, this first Saturday between the death of Jesus and the resurrection, is we have perspective, don't we? We have perspective. We can see from our perspective that our Holy Saturday, our quiet moment between the darkness of the crucifixion and the brightness of the resurrection, in our moment we have seen in perfect hindsight that God has turned the most horrendous thing that ever happened in human history, the greatest evil human beings have ever perpetrated against another, our basically murdering God who was sent to us. God has turned the cross into the greatest thing that's ever happened to human beings. And so, folks, as you're sitting in your Holy Saturday, and there are a lot of bad things going on, a lot of discouraging things going on. As you're sitting in your Holy Saturday, be assured that Sunday's coming, that God will work all things together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose, for his children. And how we know that is by looking back at that first Passion weekend when God turned the worst into the best by raising Jesus from the dead. And he promises to turn our Fridays, our Holy Saturdays, where it just seems so dark in that tomb, into a glorious Sunday someday as well. This is how God works. Bless you on your Holy Saturday, and be assured Sunday's coming. See you at church tomorrow to celebrate the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ.